My rocket titties made their debut here. I use them all the time personally, but they publicly made their debut in this video as well. They're very useful though. Hi, Laura, it's Ariana Grande. And today I'm going to be breaking down some of my most iconic videos. By the way, they told me to use the word iconic. I didn't assume that. So this video was directed by the young astronauts by my friend Nev, and she and I collaborated on this concept. I really love the 60s. I've always loved that era for glamour, for wardrobe, for aesthetic, film, choreography, everything. The dancing scene in this video was actually inspired by Sweet Charity, and the wardrobe, it's pretty almost identical. But yeah, I love that era, so we had a lot of fun dipping a toe in here, and then I never kind of dipped any toes out for the rest of my life. Also, I love Iggy's glam here. I loved her makeup, I loved her hair. It was funny because my ponytail in this scene was actually not that high or teased, and like 5 minutes before we rolled, I was like, this looks too ugh. And then I just went in the mirror and I just grabbed it and I was like went like this, and I brought it up really high, and I sort of, okay, we don't need a bunch of memes of me going like this anywhere, but it's okay, it's too late, so f it. If you want it, take it. This is one of my favorite videos. This one is Break Free, directed by Chris Mars. I had the time of my life shooting this video. I loved this makeup. Chris Buckle did this makeup. He put a bunch of stickers from Michaels or something on my face, and they definitely weren't supposed to be there. I think Delina did this hair, and Johnny Wujek did this wardrobe. It was a beautiful, fun video. I've always loved vintage interpretations of space and like what the future looks like, but in the 50s or 60s. I always thought that was so cool. Big Barbarella fan, obviously. I continue to channel her as much as possible. There's a really cool deleted scene on the internet somewhere where we recreated the Who Shot First scene from Star Wars, which was really fun as well. My rocket titties made their debut here. I use them all the time personally, but they publicly made their debut in this video as well. They're very useful though. 'Cause if you want to keep me, you gotta. Love Me Harder 2014 featuring The Weeknd. This was our first time collaborating. It was really fun. This concept didn't feel very personal to me, as I'm sitting in an old chair in some sand and I end up in water for some reason. I'm dressed as some sort of whorish kitten. I love the look in it. I love the look. I kind of gave up the reins here and was just kind of like, go for it. And then I really fought Hannah for the kitty ears. I'm really glad that I did though, because I really like them. I think it would have felt almost too serious without the ears for me. I'm talking to you. See you standing over there with your body. So this is Side to Side featuring Nicki Minaj 2016. We were going back and forth about what should this concept be, and I remember I was on the treadmill thinking and listening to my playlist of what was becoming the Dangerous Woman album, and I got to Side, and I was like, why does this feel so fun to listen to on the treadmill? And I FaceTimed Hannah and I said, we should be on SoulCycle bikes. And she was like, oh, I'll call you back. And then pulled together all these dope visual references. She was like, you and Nikki have to be in the sauna. I don't love the look with the leggings and the stringy bra thing, but I love the other ones. I love the one on the bike. The one in the leggings feels like I was forced into it. I probably was. This one is No Tears Left to Cry, 2018, directed by Dave Meyers. This was a really fun video simply because of how much preparation went into it. The rotating set that we had to build to create the first scene took so long to get used to, and we rehearsed the day before and it was so much fun. I pitched Dave this idea of sort of multiple fields of gravity because of a game I was playing at the time called Monument Valley on my phone. I told him how much I loved Escher stairs and stuff like that, and we sort of mushed everything together and created the Sweetener, what really was sort of like the centerpiece for the Sweetener album and era, which was this sort of play on being upside down and not knowing what is right and what is up, because also personally in my life at the time, I was sort of upside down and not knowing where the ground was and not feeling very grounded or okay. So yeah, I felt like that was a really nice, cool way to visually represent what I was feeling during those moments, really. The fashion here is really fun. I loved the polka dot umbrella dress. I really loved that. I remember feeling so joyful in that. This was styled by La Roche, and I loved these looks. I think they're so much fun. God is a Woman 2018, also directed by Dave Meyers. This was such a fun video to do. This was glam by Ash and Josh and styled by Mimi Cottrell. This one was so much fun because obviously there are so many beautiful ways to express femininity and what it is to be a woman, and there's so many things to lean into as far as paying homage to art that already exists and also creating our own. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with this. One of my favorite moments is probably when I'm fingering the earth. Loved that a lot. I also loved recreating the moment, the Michelangelo moment at the end, because I was able to tease that we were putting that in this video at the Met Gala when I worked with Vera Wang on my dress. I like that connection. To me, that felt exciting, and I felt giddy knowing. And then I loved that sort of watercolor that I'm swimming in the beginning. I think it's so beautiful. Alexa Mead did that art on my sort of face and hair and boobs and in the water as well. That is not random paint. It's not a pool. That's for sure. Thought I'd end up with Sean, but it wasn't a match. This is Thank You Next from 2018. I loved this video so much. The funny thing about this is that we were working on the Breathin' video. Hannah and I were in New York filming the video for Breathin'. Breathin' kind of was like the tail end single of Sweetener, because it kind of life thrust me into the Thank You Next album era. I didn't have any plan of moving on that time anytime soon, but I kind of had to do that album as an artist to feel better, and I really was ready to move on, and we were working on Breathin', and I was like, we have to recreate all my favorite scenes from all my favorite movies and make the Thank You Next video. Like, next month we have to do it. And she was like, holy shit. Like, nobody is more right to do this with than Hannah. She turned something that felt so torrential at the time in my life into something that felt fun and light, at least while we were doing it and while we were making it, and what I got to share with the world felt, you know, bright and beautiful. Playing Regina George was really fun. Playing Elle Woods was really fun. Playing Jenna Rink was a dream come true. I couldn't believe it. Jennifer Garner even reposted it, and I love her so much. I loved being able to work with Jennifer Coolidge on this. She actually recreated all of her looks from Legally Blonde for this, which was the biggest honor of my entire life. I worship her. I'm a humongous comedy person. My favorite movie is Best in Show, and she happens to be in that as well. You should see the outtakes. They're so funny. She was like, I met a guy with no teeth. I made out with him. It was so weird. And then I saw him under the covers. He was doing something. And I was like, trying to keep a straight face, and she was like, have you ever kissed a guy with no teeth? Positions 2020. I love this video so much. I love this glam. I love this styling. This makeup was by Manthony, and my hair was by Josh Liu. This styling was Mimi Cottrell. This was directed by Dave Meyers again, and conceptualized by my husband. We were in the car driving home, and Dalton just turned to me and was like, what if you were the president? And I was like, I called Dave. This was literally 3 days away from the shoot, I wanna say, and we just he made it happen. I also love the women that are in this video with me. It was really cool just to sort of paint this picture in a feminine way and just say, you know, why couldn't it look like that? Why couldn't it even look half like that? So what you doing tonight? 3435 2020, directed by Director X. Michael did this makeup again, and Josh did this hair again, and this was styled by Mimi again. This was another one where we took inspiration from that 60s sci-fi. Again, that old horror 60s thing is my favorite aesthetic in the world, so we tried to make it sort of emulate that with the drippy letters and stuff. I feel so lucky to have done this, and choreographed by Brian and Scott Nicholson as well. This choreography is so silly and fun, but also so chic. I've worked with them my whole career, so it's fun to sort of find new stories to tell with them. And okay, are we voguing today? No, we're being fembots today, actually. And they are always able to jump in and execute everything so beautifully and make me feel beautiful in the movements, and I appreciate them and everybody I get to work with. Thank you all so much for joining me as I broke down some of my most, I was forced to say the word iconic earlier, but some of my most they happened music videos. Thank you. I'm sorry. You have to use that. You have to use that. You have to.